White Post Studio here with this is George Shevchuk, and we got a couple of things to talk about. I think one of the first things I'd like to go over with you is an analysis of the left, probably all over the world, but we're focusing mainly on the left in the United States of America. I wrote a few things down, and I wanted to just basically read them to you, and then basically we could talk about these topics. I also have Ben and Dan Scalera and behind the camera that could chime in at any time and give us their commentary on anything that they would like to bring to the table. Anyway, I wanted to just make a comment that during the 1960s, the left or the liberals in America were perceived as bleeding heart liberals. The thing of it is that today, the neocon liberals, the woke liberals that we have today, these are the kind of liberals that don't have so much of a bleeding heart as they do having a desire to make everybody else's heart bleed. They are vicious and self-centered, they're control freaks, and there's a strata within their ranks. They have a neocon element, and this neocon element has worked its way progressively to a much stronger position since the 60s. Over the last 50, 60 years, they've become just as strong of a segment within the liberal left Democrat community as they are in the as they are in the Republican Party. The neocons definitely rival the neocons in the Republican Party, but they're all basically in the same club. It's just that some of them are masquerading within the Democrat Party, and some of them are masquerading within the Republican Party, and in the Republican Party we know them as rhinos. Then you have another segment within the Democrat Party, which is the left that we're analyzing today, which are those that are woke. The people that are woke, they're probably the majority on the left. The people that are neocons, these are the people that are the profiteers, and they are the controllers. They actually control things. Regardless of how they say or how they represent themselves, they are power hungry, control freaks, and profiteers. People like Nancy Pelosi, people like Chuck Schumer, people like Joe Biden. Unfortunately, the majority of the people that are Democrats, the rank and file, they are what this Soviet defector said during the 70s and 80s in a video. He referred to them as useful idiots. That's what they are. They're mainly useful idiots. They're the people that are going for all of this transgender garbage, and they are extremely racially sensitive, and they are being used by the controlling element of the party to create divide and conquer. They create divisions, racial divisions, gender divisions, generational divisions. They'll chop you up in any way, shape, and form as they can, because the more you are divided, the more in control they are. The typical and age-long tactic of divide and conquer has always proven to be one of the most successful. It's more successful these days because it is being done in a way where people do not perceive it being done to them. It is done in a deceptive way. So this is where we find ourselves. We find ourselves in a situation where we have a country that is drifting towards disorder, because disorder creates profit and control for the few. You know that we have an indicator of where we're going just by looking to the north and Canada. Justice Trudeau is a little further along in this process, and you could see how his country is slowly turning into a fascist state.
Justin Trudeau.
And I think that if we're not careful, we're going to be moving along in that same direction at an accelerated rate, and we may even eventually have a leader that's worse, even worse, than Joe Biden or Justice Trudeau. There is an alternative to this, and I don't know whether it is still possible to pull ourselves back from the brink. But in my mind, the only thing that could restore decency and freedom and a healthy society in the United States, or anywhere in the world for that matter, is Christianity. And I think that people have to get back to the Bible. They have to read it for themselves, because very often you'll find that what you read in the Bible is not exactly what is being represented in some worldly organization. And to tell you the truth, in my mind, there is only one way to look at it. There can only be one religion, Christianity. I think that denominations are just basically people wanting to be in control. So that everybody's changing things around a little bit so they could be the captain of their own ship. But if you read the Bible, you can see that this is a broad spectrum of things, and I have a hunch that denomination is not going to come up on Judgment Day. That's all I have to say about liberalism at the present time, except that it is very dangerous. Now that we've seen what Joe Biden has done, and we're about a year and a half into his presidency, and all we see is utter failure in every direction that you could look. Total failure in our evacuation of Afghanistan, total failure in control of our border, total failure in regards to inflation and the economy. Our school systems are in danger, even more so than ever before. They're threatening to take away our guns. And I got to tell you that if there's any reason to own a gun, it's just take a look at Joe Biden and his administration and Nancy Pelosi and Justin Trudeau. That is the reason why Americans should be armed, because these type of governments that are coming into power, have the potential to be so horrible that they could make Joseph Stalin and Adolf Hitler look like they're choir boys. So it's a warning what to do about it. I told you, let's go back to our to worshiping with our communities. Let's get involved with our churches. Whatever denomination you belong to, get more involved, meet your fellow Christians, and if you are conservative, religious Jews, then I suggest that you do the same. We have Muslims now in our country, which, to tell you the truth, I don't like the fact that they are here, because I think that they would be much happier if they were in their own country, having everything they want under their own Muslim law and of the law of the Quran. And we would be much happier if we were living in a Christian society where we would have everything that we want. But when you mix different types of groups together, you tend to have everybody needing to be tolerant. And I'll leave you on this note. Tolerance is for the defeated. Thank you for watching, and I hope you tune in to White Post Studio for other topics that we plan to discuss.